Salutations, everyone! And as you can see by what's on your screen, this is Pokemon predictions. Basically, for the news that's happening tomorrow around 8 a.m. EST. I think it's like 6 a.m. West Coast time. But I'm not alone here. As you see on screen, there's a shiny Tyrantrum, so of course I'm not alone because it would just be cynical if I was alone. So, my partner in crime would like to introduce yourself.
Hello. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dawson, or the Llama, and today, as Justin said, Poke Predictions.
Yeah, so basically, I don't know how long this will be, but it's just the general questions like, what do you think we'll see? Like, what do you think we should see, basically, and what do you want to see? Stuff like questions about starters, whatever, all that. So basically, let's start off. What do you think we will see in tomorrow's possible? I see. I don't know if it's. I'm still not 100% sure if it's just a direct or if they're just releasing a trailer. Not sure. Might be a direct. I'm thinking it might be a direct. Either way, still gonna be on YouTube. Yeah. So what do you think we'll see?
Um, well, I think that in Pokemon X, the first thing we saw was Mega Mewtwo Y. For Oros, the first new thing we saw was Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon. So, if rumors are true and they're doing some type of fusion or some type of new thing with Pokemon, we could be seeing that first tomorrow. But if that's not a thing, if they're not doing any of those fusions or whatever stuff that I don't want personally, I think it's a safe bet to say that we'll at least be seeing the starters.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the legendaries, because of last month's Koro, they showed two box arts that were kind of blurred out. So they might come out and show us box art with the new legendaries on it, or maybe some old faces. You never know. Um, but I think it's safe to say that if it's nothing new like Mega Evolution and Primal De-evolution or Primal
Reversion.
Reversion, then we're probably just going to see the starters. At the least, we're going to see the stars tomorrow. And even that would be amazing. So now I'm going to pass the question on to you. What do you think we're going to see in tomorrow's direct or trailer or so on and so forth?
So I think you're right that the diffusion. I think that would be kind of. I I mean, I hated Mega Evolution for all of 10 minutes when they first revealed it.
Yeah.
So, and then I came around to it, and I think it's actually a pretty cool feature. But if they
Oh
do
yeah.
fusion, I don't know if I could get with that.
I don't like the idea. I think especially like if it's two Pokemon coming together, that sounds kind of cool because in my background of loving Fake Monster for so many years, I have seen so many great fusions. But if we're gonna fuse ourselves with Pokemon, that's one of the most idiotic ideas the Pokemon franchise could ever bring to the games. That just
See,
sounds dumb. I don't want to fuse with my Pokemon. I
there,
don't.
there's fusion in like everything. There's fusion in Yu-Gi-Oh. There's fusion in Digimon. There's fusion in freaking Yokai
We've
Watch.
already had fusion in Pokemon. This is not the first
Yeah,
time.
but it's on a very small scale, being it's between three Pokemon. But
Mm,
we I don't think we necessarily need it in Pokemon. And fusing with your Pokemon, fusing your trainer with Pokemon, sure, Astro Ninja, blah blah blah. But I don't see that happening. Again, they also did that in Digimon. There was like a series where the people became the Digimon. It was all weird. So, but I just
and
don't think any of that needs to happen. Stick with Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution is fine. Mega Evolution is cool. It's all hunky
or even
dory.
primal stuff is okay too. If you want to do that, continue. I feel like every legendary besides like Mewtwo, because Mewtwo is man made and
And like Genesect.
he's recent.
Mm-hmm.
But like all the old Pokemon like Rayquaza, Groudon and Kyogre, like why did Kyogre and Groudon get primals, but here's Rayquaza who is just as old as the other ones, just gets a mega. Like
Mm-hmm.
it never made, and then he looks just like the primals. He
Mm-hmm.
has all the glowy features. He has all the different, the Greek symbols on him, but yet he gets a mega, and the other two get primals. It just makes sense, in my opinion, for all of the old legendaries to get primals because they're older. They're not evolving into the future. They're de-evolving to their past selves,
Yeah.
which just makes sense. Even though Mega Rayquaza is one of the most badass things in the Pokemon world, they could tomorrow just say it's a primal, and I'd be like, okay.
Hmm. See, I think
um,
the whole thing with Mariquaza, like, there's a thing about primals. The thing is, like, you can have a primal Pokemon and a Mega and use them both in the same freaking battle,
well,
and
there's
that's a
only two
little bit
primals.
busted.
There's only two primals, though they are both insanely powerful.
Yeah, and they're both banned in competitive play.
But there are only two of them. So
Mm.
to make that a thing to where you can't battle together, I mean that's fine. But yeah, there's only two primals so far. Don't know if we're gonna get any more. I remember sitting on our friend's couch when the news hit, and you read out Primal De-Evolution is what it was first called,
Hmm.
and I was like, "What? They're introducing something again? Like, what is this? Like, we already got Megas, and now we're getting Primal De-Evolution, which still sounds badass.
Hmm.
Um, but a thing, I want to go back to the whole fusion thing. The reason it worked in Black and White is the
Black and
simple
white.
blink in Black and White. I'm saying by my decision. The reason it worked in Black and White was because of the whole yin yang principle.
Hmm.
Yin and yang are connected with each other, so it only makes sense for Zekrom and Kyurem.
Reshiram to fuse with Kyurem.
Yeah, Reshiram and Zekrom to fuse together to make Yin and Yang, which is Kyurem.
Hmm.
Um, that's fine. Like I have no Black and White is probably my least known. Well, it's not my least known, but it's one of the most forgettable games, kind of, in my opinion. I don't really see people going back and play that game.
Hmm.
Um,
It's definitely like the least less played Pokemon games.
Yeah. Well, what makes me sad because I love Tepig. Tepig's he's my him and Torchic are my two favorite fire starters.
Hmm.
I think they're just adorable. Um, but it made sense for Yin and Yang to be together so that they fuse. But it really makes no sense. Like just because of Ash fusing with his Greninja, and just because we see those little crystals above the logo, which I mean, we saw the Mega Evolution symbol, and we've seen the orbs,
Hmm.
uh, and then now we see these crystals. I mean, people are putting two together, and that's fine. It makes 100% sense that they're trying to make something of it.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind. I mean, I understand
And then with Ash's
the
Greninja now too, and AZ's Floette, I mean, they're introducing these kind of person fusing with their Pokemon, but Ash has a certain look to him. AZ
Mhm.
has a certain look to them. They could bring back customization, but that would be way too much work and way too much storage to try to make your Pokemon look like you when you have dozens and dozens of style choices.
Mhm.
It just to me it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah, go ahead what you're saying.
The whole fusion thing, they're pulling the symbol from the Sun and Moon Japanese logos and connecting it to a very small, very like vastly unknown, and like as far as I know, it didn't do very well. It's like a small manga series that they did for a short period in Japan during the black and white
Mhm.
time. So I don't think they're going to visit an idea from a manga series that, for one, sold. I don't think well because it never was translated, and a lot of the Pokemon manga has been translated to English. So I think people are just like making like odd connections. Like you can also say the symbols look like revives because they do, because they're just diamond or rhombus shaped items that are colored yellow. That's exact. They look like revives, but they also look like the fusion crystals or whatever. So
Hey,
it's pulling at straws, in my opinion.
hey, you just made I just made a connection in my head and follow me through this because it's going to be a little bit confusing. You said revive,
Mm-hmm.
and AZ is supposed to be a pretty big character now. We're
Mm-hmm.
trying to learn more about him, and his Floette was basically revived, right?
True.
So could mean nothing. Probably means absolutely nothing. But I just made the connection. maybe we could be seeing more of AZ in the future, which would be cool because even though he had a presence in X and Y,
There's so much that's unknown. Like,
there's
how did
so
he
much
live
that's
for
unknown.
3,000 years?
Yeah, and the descendants between him and
Lysandre
Lysandre,
or Lysander, or however it's pronounced. It's always weird.
Lizardon. Um, but I mean, it's interesting. And if this is a continuation of X and Y, which it somewhat seems so far that it is kind of a
I think
continuation.
it's going to be the whole gold and silver effect where you travel back to the past region. Because X and Y, it needs a little bit more loving. Kalos needs a little bit more loving. I
Yeah.
don't think I've said this since freaking last time we had a discussion like this when we're about to see Sun and Moon revealed for the first time. I said, X and Y needs. It's not done. I don't think we're done in Kalos. There's still storylines, things that just need to be connected. Pokemon has left some plot holes before, but nothing as big as some of the stuff in Kalos. Like they wouldn't just add in like all those buildings in the Kalos Badlands that you can't go into just for them to be like just there. There's a reason for almost everything they do.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think we're done with Kalos, but if they did come out and say that no, this is just something new with some familiar faces, I'd still be fine with it. Like X and Y are my favorite games in the Pokemon franchise, just because they were basically my first. And if they said that we're going to take some characters from Kalos and put them in this game, but we're not going to really continue the story in Kalos, but still continue the story of Kalos, that makes sense.
Hmm.
I'd be fine. If we're in a new region, which it seems that we kind of are, um, and we can be in a brand new place and still continue a story. But if they said we're not going back to Kalos, I think I'd be fine. I would be a little bit disappointed. Not disappointed. I'd be a little bit like, okay, well, what about like because Az was just a really cool character in my opinion. His just the whole ending was about him.
Hmm.
The whole end of the game was about him,
Makes me
and
kind
just
of
to kind of
sad. The battle with him is extremely easy, and I wanted like a little bit of a challenge from him.
I feel like if they bring him back, we're gonna see a much bigger battle from him.
Like him actually using his Floette. But that's another thing. We still there's like code in the games for an event for AZ's Floette, which we still never got. So that's another thing pointing me towards the direction of we're still going back to Kalos
I mean,
because we got every other event in the data besides AZ's Floette.
just because it's in the data of X and Y doesn't mean it points towards a future game.
Yeah.
I mean, yes and no. I can agree with you because we also got like Volcanion and Hoopa and Diancie, and Diancie is definitely an X and Y mon. Hoopa is too, but Volcanion is one of those things where it's being introduced in the X and Y anime and it is in the coding for X and Y, but it feels more of a Sun and Moon mon, just because of the new Magirna movie coming up, and
Hmm.
they're going to be fighting, and even though we know that Volcanion is an X and Y Pokemon, it's the last mon in the Dex,
Hmm.
it still raises questions of those mons were in the game and they were supposed to be kept hidden until around the same time. I mean, you think about Volcanion and Magirna were announced, not that far apart. So even though we knew about Volcanion um, prior, we were not supposed to, but even though we knew about him, but they were planning on a pretty close release together, pretty close unveiling together with Magirna and Volcanion. So I feel like there's more there's more to that than we think.
Hmm. I don't know when the Volcanion movie comes to the US, but I feel like that's around the same time we'll get the Volcanion event. And the Magirna will probably be one of the very first events for Sun and Moon whenever that drops, which I feel like,
Unless it's a legendary within it that you can catch,
yeah.
because that could be also a possibility.
See, that is most definitely. I shouldn't say most definitely because we never know anything for fact, but it's what most believe, and I also believe it's gonna be like the Pixie Pokemon. It's gonna be like the new Celebi, Jirachi Pokemon of the game, and those are always events. So it wouldn't surprise me
Uh,
if an event, but at the same time, if you can just have to go out and catch it, that's fine because it's more of an immediate thing. Like you don't have to wait for an event. You can just once you beat the game, just go find it and catch it. That's fine too.
I can see where you're coming from with the whole pixie thing, but the pixies are supposed to be like not what Magearna is.
I mean, I didn't know this till probably a few months ago, but the Pixie for X and Y, which I thought we just never got one, was Diancie. And Diancie and Magearna, people have made strong connections between them because Magearna kind of just looks like a metallic Diancie.
Yeah, I guess. And we also got to bring up like with Magearna, she has a little thing on her chest that there's a little circle within it, and it has red and blue in it,
Hmm.
which is obviously showing towards Xerneas and Yveltal,
Or Sun and
unless
Moon legendaries because Sun and Moon logos are red and blue too.
yeah, it is. They are, but it feels like. But you also got to look at like Zygarde or Zygarde's final form when he has all his different colors in his chest, and it could all lead back to Sun and Moon, but that could be another point towards revisiting something in Catalyst.
Hmm. So all in all, I think tomorrow we're going to get if we don't get the box arts tomorrow, we're definitely getting them in Koro Koro this month because they already said they would show them off this month. Um, Tomorrow I'm hoping for I'm hoping for the XY first trailer all again where we got the starters and legendaries. Even though I'm pretty sure we didn't
Mhm.
know legendaries names for like another month. We still knew the legendaries, but we didn't know Xerneas was called Xerneas and Eviltal was called Eviltal. But
The one thing that I want to say you just touched on real quick before whatever you do.
mhm,
I think that it would be really dumb if they showed the box arts tomorrow and then they went off and showed it in Koro Koro. And let me tell you why. If we're gonna see it online, there's already gonna be a billion screenshots floating around.
mhm.
There is no need for them to spend the money in advertising space showing us the exact same thing just on paper.
Yeah, that's why I think we'll see legendaries tomorrow, but the box arts will be a Koro Koro reveal. Because
Yeah.
seeing legendaries is one thing, seeing the box arts is another. Because the box arts they almost always look cool, but legendaries is still that thing we just need to know. And seeing on the box arts first is kind of meh. Because I'd rather see like full fledged like how we saw Eva's and Xerneas not exactly in action like in battle in the trailers. We saw like Xerneas come out of the woods and then Eviltal flying around. I thought that just looked really cool. Looked a
Hmm.
lot cooler than it was like here's the box arts for the game. The legendaries are on it, but they're not. They're just standing there. You can't really see them in action.
Hmm. Now I'm gonna ask you another thing. So in the 20th anniversary live stream where they announced Sun and Moon, they showed a bunch of screenshots or a bunch of concept art for the game itself, and we got to see some of the new vehicles and some of the new buildings and the new Pokemon Center, and potentially what we could be looking like in the game. Which, if that's what we look like in the game, the little caricatures or whatever they were, they look awful. They look
Yeah.
awful. They are terrible looking. They look like some dumb CBS kids show. They just look awful. But the buildings look cool. The vehicles look cool. The only thing I'm a little bit hesitant about is that we saw the new Pokemon Center, but we also saw something that looked like the Pokemon Center inside of it at least, and
Hmm.
Nurse Joy is not in there. It's like a little corner system where you walk up to like it's almost like a freaking vending machine where you just pop your balls in, you heal yourself.
I mean, it's not the first time that we've seen that you heal yourself. Like they did it in
Yeah,
Coliseum,
but
but
it's
that's a
weird.
spin-off game.
It's yeah, but it's very weird to see that they have the Pokemon Center. They have art from the new Pokemon Center, but when you see art of the inside of it, it's like do it yourself Pokemon Center, and Nurse Joy's nowhere to be found. And Nurse Joy, she is a massively small part in the Pokemon universe,
Yeah, but
and to
she's
take
been
her
there
out would
since
be
the like she's
yeah.
such a small thing, but she's just been there since the very
That's what I said.
beginning.
She is a massive small part of the game,
Yeah.
and to walk into the Pokemon Center and not see her there would be a massive disappointment.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, like in today's world, and in 2016, where we're standing out right now, people would rather do stuff themselves than to have to talk to somebody.
Mhm.
Like we would rather check ourselves out at the grocery store than to actually talk to a cashier, and that would be really done to bring to Pokemon
Yeah,
Universe.
because Pokemon, their whole goal is interaction. Even if it's just interaction with NPCs, that's still interaction.
Yeah, and it's just small, and it's the exact same thing she says over and over again.
Hmm.
You're not trying to make small talk
Which
or
one thing I'm
anything.
really glad they did was in 6th gen, they actually had her say happy birthday to you on your birthday. And like
Yeah,
the
you
whole
walk into
background
Pokemon
turned
Center,
into
yeah,
like a birthday cake. I thought that was a really nice touch. Like you only
it
see
was
it
cool.
once a year, but still a really nice touch.
Unless you set your birthday for every day.
Yeah. Like when I first saw that, I didn't know that was a thing. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, it was a nice touch. But I really but seeing Nurse Joy not in the Pokemon Center is disappointing. I think she'll still be in there. She might just be, I don't know, doing something else. She might have another part to it. But there also are the vehicles which we have seen people sitting inside of, so it
Hmm.
doesn't seem like they're taking NPCs out. And also inside one of the vehicles, we saw X and Y characters in the concept art. We saw Tierno, and we saw Shauna.
Uh,
I think's her name, the one
yeah.
that put the she got the pink shirt.
That's Donna.
Um, so it's something else. If we are in a new region, which it is pointing to, seeing X and Y characters there is not a stretch because Ash travels a lot, and it just makes sense for them to travel too because they're trying to become Pokemon masters, and it makes sense for them to go to other regions. But Ash's story always continues, so why can't the story of X and Y continue over to Sun and Moon?
Hmm.
Doesn't have to be. We don't have to be in Kalos to continue a story. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, and hopefully tomorrow does not disappoint because I'm getting real tired of all the bullshit happening. I'm just getting real tired of all the bullshit happening, and I just want something
See, I've become
new.
incredibly.
Not. I want something new. Not like, oh, we told you last month you're going to get something. Well, you're not going to get this month, but next month you might get it, but we might just pull it back again and say you're not getting it. Like I'm done with that bullshit.
Hmm.
Give me something or fuck off. Like I'm getting real impatient.
See,
My patience is getting stretched.
video games have actually made me incredibly patient because, like, I've been waiting for Zelda U for coming on 2 years now, but I've just been patient. I've been buying time. It's been doing other things. I've just been patient. Same with Pokemon. I'll be patient. I
Well,
can.
they also haven't said that you're going to be seeing something and then it's like, oh no, miscommunication, or oh no, we're not doing it this time. Oh,
I
we gotta
mean,
wait for next month, or yeah.
the the only I can see like that being about the Koro last month, but the whole Pokenchi thing. Somebody blew something, some rumor way off proportion, and everybody believed in it.
But it would have been so simple for them to say no. We already talked about this. It'd have been so simple, so simple. One freaking tweet by anybody over a Game Freak to say, this rumor's been going on for a fucking month now. We don't know where it came from. No, but they didn't. That's on them. All the bullshit they got, that's on them. It would have been so simple to say, all right, you need to tweet out that that's not happening, miscommunication, but they didn't. That's their fault for
Yeah,
not doing anything.
like after that live stream, I was disappointed as well. But when I saw on Twitter that somebody tweeted at Masuda was like, "Where's the gameplay?" and he just like tweeted back, "Gameplay? Who said what?" And it was like that just made me like, okay, it's he made kind of like light of the situation. He didn't take it as like he wasn't being super serious. It was like I just think he's a cool dude, and he just it was like
You
a
can be
really
a
chill
cool
way to shut
dude,
everybody up.
but that's not the way to do it.
Eh,
It's not. It's not. Me and you talked about this thing for over a month, just waiting, counting on the days. Like we're finally gonna get. We have 2 weeks left. We have a week left. We have 2 days left, and then me and you were like, "Shit, it's in a few hours." Like, oh my god, like we got to prepare now. Like we were hyped. We talked about that forever,
mhm.
and then we sat there and watched it, and I was freaking like, "What in the hell?" I got 2 hours of sleep to watch this. Like it would have been so simple. Masuda, literally, right after it was like, oh, he didn't say any gameplay. Why the fuck didn't you say that a month ago? Or 2 months ago? Whenever the hell that thing was talked about. Like, why didn't you come out and say anything then? You literally just let us get our hopes up, just say, ha 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 ha. Nope. Like, it was just it's bullshit. And that's totally on them. It's
All in all, I
110%
don't
on
think the
them.
same will happen tomorrow because
It better not.
literally
I'm,
every
I'm
Pokemon
fucking.
Twitter for every different region, every different language, whatever, tweeted out the same thing about being Pokemon News tomorrow. Which, if there wasn't going to be something big, then they wouldn't have all said it. If it was just going to be something like small news, they would have been like every other Pokemon like announcement. Like every time there's an X and Y trailer release, people didn't, all companies didn't, or not all Twitters didn't like tweet beforehand saying watch out for this on this day at this time. But they all were like, this is coming out May 10th at this exact time, for whatever region it was, for whatever area of the world you're in. So I think they're not bullshitting for tomorrow. I think tomorrow they're putting the game faces on and they're hitting hard. They're going to at least drop something big.
Hopefully they do. Because one thing about me, and I'm sorry for people who are watching this. I don't know who you are. You don't know who I am, but I have strong opinions about companies who just say too much and then try to backtrack on themselves. I do with every company I love. I am not. I am loyal, but if something happens, it's their fucking fault. I am not loyal to a fault. I am loyal, but they fuck up, it's their fault. Like I'm like even like people that watch. I'm a big fan of Minecraft. Have been for years, and just recently 1.9 was announced, and they've been showing off some stuff. And one of the people at Minecraft, one of the developers, Jeb, said that in 2 weeks' time we'll be getting our first snapshot. It's been a month.
Oh, for 1.10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So um, why the fuck say anything if you're not like I can understand 1.9 has been a total shit show. Like what the hell happened? Like it's a great update, but Jesus, they broke everything.
Yeah.
Um, but if you're developing 1.10, great. Say you're developing, but don't tell us anything and when it's going to come out. Like just say we don't know. Don't give us a 2 week thing just to go back and say like I read a tweet the other day that said that was the soonest time, but now it could be later. It's like why say anything in the first place? Just shut your
See,
fucking mouth.
I'm
Just
thinking
shut your mouth.
I'm thinking if they're going to say something like that, I would say like estimated for this time, but just like everything, it could be pushed back. There could be delays,
It could be pushed
unforeseen
back,
problems.
but just
But
don't
don't
say
say like
anything.
something like so straight faced as, yes, it's coming in 2 weeks' time. Say it should be out in 2 weeks, but things can happen.
Yeah, and it just pisses me off. A lot of companies do it. I am a very loyal person, but I will be. I will love you one day and fucking want to disown you the next. I'm one of those kind of people. So I'm sorry if anything I said made you angry during this episode, but that's just the kind of person I am. I'm not gonna fucking mess around. If I'm promised something or if I'm told something or some whatever it is, then you deliver or you're getting a mouthful from me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we'll probably make another one of these tomorrow,
Yeah,
saying
a
if anything
post
we
video
said,
discussion.
yeah, seeing if anything we said today was true,
So,
if we're happy,
couple
sad, whatever.
things. Um, we we got trademarks for possible starter names
Yeah,
and
yeah.
possible legendary
I was wondering if you
names.
were going to actually bring those up because I was
Yeah,
like, well, we're about 40 something, or not 40, we're like
we're
30,
30
yeah.
in.
And I was like, we're not that far in. We've talked for a while, but when do we guys start talking about the trademarks?
So, the trademarks basically, the ones I remember is there is a grass owl and a fire cat, and I don't remember what
And
the.
also, it's another one is a water seal.
Oh yeah, it's water seal. I'm pretty sure. And then the starters, we just got their names as Lunala and Solgaleo, something like that. Um,
I feel like the second one is supposed to be a nod to Galileo.
yeah, that and also, I was watching Tube's video yesterday. Him talking about the announcement.
Hmm.
He made a really good point. I'm sure it points to Galileo because he was a massive like astronomer.
Hmm. Oh,
Excuse me.
yeah, he was.
Um,
There's no doubt about that. You know, everybody knows Galileo's name.
yeah. Um, but also ends in Leo, and we already got a fire type
Leonardo
lion.
DiCaprio confirmed. Just
Um,
kidding.
but getting a legendary fire lion, I would not be mad of. And then he pointed out it does nothing to do with the name, but what's the opposite of a cat but a dog? And what's the most fierce dog? A wolf. So the moon legendary would be being a wolf would be really cool to counteract
Um,
sun lion, be a night wolf.
I feel like if we're gonna get a legendary cat, we would not be getting a legendary, or we would not be getting a starter cat.
Yeah,
It makes more sense for us to get a starter cat because every fire starter is based off of the Chinese thing
Zodiac.
and Zodiac, and I'm the tiger in the
We're
Zodiac.
both tigers.
Yeah, so
Cincinnati kids shout.
so it only makes sense that the cat would be the starter than the actual legendary
I mean,
because
but there's
if
been
we're gonna
rumors the
stay
cat.
true, if we're gonna stay true with like the rooster and the dragon and stuff like that,
Mhm.
it only makes sense that this time they don't like mess, or even the pig or whatever, they don't mess up formula and just say we're not there's not gonna be a starter cat, there's not gonna be a legendary cat. We're just gonna stick with the zodiac stuff and gives you a tiger or give you a cat or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they always take a small variation on it. Like, the mouse is technically Cyndaquil, even though Cyndaquil is more of like a shrew, I think
He's
it
a
is.
rodent.
It's a certain type of rodent.
He's a rodent.
But
So I mean it fits.
yeah, but it's not specifically a mouse. It's but even though it's the year of the rat, year of the
If you
mouse.
look at it and you ask somebody what that is, either they'll say an anteater or they'll be like it's some type of mouse or rodent.
hmm
Like
And
it
then
looks like an anteater.
the grass types have mostly been reptilian, and so breaking that mold a little bit to get a bird, which means birds they evolved from reptiles. Their birds are the evolution of dinosaurs, so it's not too far fetched. Plus, we had prehistoric birds, so
Yeah.
that's not too far fetched. And then the water type has always just kind of been there. We've had mammals.
Yeah.
We've had this. Their whole thing is they're aquatic, which of course water type.
Yeah. I feel like it would be very weird to get another seal.
hmm
We've already got an Oshawott.
He's a
And
otter. He's not a
it,
seal.
look at Samurott.
He's a samurai otter.
They're very close to a seal.
I mean, we also have seal and feel. So Do we need
I
a
feel
third?
like. Sorry, go ahead.
No, like we got seal and seal. Do we need a third seal? Nah. I mean, I don't hate seals. Seals are cool. Give it another seal if you want, but there's other things they could do, like cough cough dolphin.
Cough, cough, dolphin.
We need a
Cause you.
dolphin. We need a dolphin.
I feel like it is very weird to have a starter that's not on all fours,
Hmm.
or that it's not bipedal or on all fours. Have we ever had a starter? I'm trying to think of all our starters. I don't think we ever had a starter that who was
Uh,
not bipedal or did
Quadruped.
quadruped. No, we haven't. We have none.
All stars have legs. Can confirm.
The only Pokemon, the only Pokemon evolution that doesn't have legs is Superior.
Yeah.
That's the only one. All the rest of them do. Um, but so far, we have gotten the year of the dragon, the year of the mouse, the year of the rooster, the year of the monkey, the year of the pig, and the year of the dog.
Yeah, because Fennekin, yeah, it's a dog.
It's a
It's the
dog.
closest thing we're going to get to a dog.
It's a
The
dog, but
foxes
we could
are
also
kind of dog.
say like we could also say and it could be the rabbit.
That's
Just from the
kind of a
motherfucking
stretch.
ears. Look at the ears.
Yeah,
Look at
but
the ears.
foxes are closer related to dogs, I
Yeah,
would
I mean it's
believe, than
definitely a
rabbit.
fox. It's not a rabbit. Rabbit
Hmm.
or foxes eat rabbits. But I'm pretty sure so far we've gotten, the I'm looking at it right now. We got the rooster, we got the mouse, we got the dragon, we got the dog, we got the pig, and we got the monkey. The ones we have left are the ox, the
Hmm.
tiger, the rabbit, the snake, which we already got superior, but they could
A
do a
fire
fire snake
snake
still.
is, yeah, it'd be cool.
The horse, the goat, and that's it.
Hmm.
So we still have a bunch of generations left, but after that, what are they going to do with the fire starter?
I feel like they just continue on with them being mammals for the most part.
If they actually continue after that,
Yeah,
because we have no clue how long
this could
Pokemon's
be
going
the
to
last
go.
gen for all we know, which I'm sure it
Yeah,
isn't because Pokemon is still vastly popular. It's still a major
but
franchise
they could
in the
say,
world.
yeah, we're done.
Yeah, they every company can say yeah we're done, but I don't see it happening for Pokemon. Like they're only on their 20th year, while like Mario and Zelda, which are still massive franchises, they hit 30. I
Yeah,
could see Pokemon around for another decade.
I could, but Mario has had so many people working on those games,
Yeah,
and we've had the same people working on Pokemon. Once they're gone, who can we see working on them?
I mean I'm sure they have people, they have plans for people in case any top dogs just drop. Put it lightly.
Just drop. Yeah, to put it lightly, just freaking fall from a mountain.
But
They just fall. They fall right through that hole to China.
I I'm one of the people that I can almost guarantee I will never be done with Pokemon. I will play whatever series they put out, cause that's just me.
We'll come back to this video in 10 years
Eh.
and see what you said. But we have a few years left.
I can see it at least continuing through 2020. I
Yeah,
can almost guarantee that.
I mean, from 2016, it took them 3 years to get this game. So, oh, 4 years, pretty much close. It's closer to 4 years
I mean, we
or when
got a
that comes out.
game every year except for last year. We're all right.
But yeah, I mean, when who was it? Was it Miyamoto? Not Miyamoto. Was it? Was it? Who was it that said it would be too obvious to go black and white to gray? So we did black two and white two.
Hmm.
So fans are assuming that's going to be either Z or X2, Y2, and we're not going to do that. Like it's too obvious.
That's
They
probably
wanted
something
something.
Masuda said.
Yeah, they wanted to do something new. So
They want to
basically,
surprise fans, which Sun and Moon is definitely a surprise.
yeah, because we never have gotten a sequel to a game. Like we
Black and
got
White 2
see
were technically sequels because they took a place like I think two, three years
that's what I'm
after.
talking about. Like we never got we never got red and blue too.
Hmm. We got
Um,
yellow, but that's its own game entirely.
but we've gotten when they did black and white. Geez, they said, "Oh, yeah, we're going to do sequels, black and white too." Like they said that it was very obvious for them to go to gray from heart gold or gold, silver, then platinum. It was very people. They started getting people. People started getting used to the formula
Hmm.
of what the games could be called. So black and white to gray
I
would be
mean,
what
they
it would
break the
be.
formula quite often because they went from gold and silver, which are metals, and they went to crystal, which is a crystal, a gem.
I went from diamond to crystal, diamond, pearl to platinum. I said platinum, didn't I?
You
But
said
that
gold,
matter.
silver, platinum, but then we went diamond and pearl, which are gems, to platinum, which is a metal. Which that was kind of the segue into hard gold to silver, so I understand. But they break the name cycles pretty often.
But it was very obvious that black, white, and gray was like
Mm.
the number one what it could be. Um,
Like going from diamond pearl, you'd think it'd be something like topaz or some other valuable stone. But no, they went to
diamond, pearl, lapis, diamond, pearl. We were done emerald. Can't do
wait,
that.
wait, raced off the drawing board. Um,
um,
I mean they break the formula quite often, but this time they shattered the formula.
when they did, well, they didn't. It's not like it was crazy with black two and white two.
Mm.
But with like it goes from X and Y. Technically, Oros was a remake, so even though it was basically set in recent times, whatever recent times is in Pokemon world,
Mm.
X it basically goes X Y to Sun and Moon, and Oros is just a between game. So
Yeah.
it really was crazy from X and Y. They're like, yeah, we're not gonna. They're not gonna expect what we're gonna do. And then we start getting the copyright stuff for Sun and Moon, and we start seeing logos, and I was like, what is this? You think? But yeah, it's something, man. It's something. It is. We're in for a treat in a few hours.
In literally
Maybe,
12 hours.
maybe a treat.
I can
Hopefully a
almost
treat.
guarantee it
Don't
will
almost guarantee,
shatter the
Justin.
community for a minute.
I will punch you in the throat. Don't guarantee me shit. I'll get real angry at you. It'll be your fault they don't say anything. I will blame this
First
on you.
time it was blamed John Carlo Paramango, and then we blame Cinda.
Yeah, I will blame you. I'll start a trend, and I'll be the only one tweeting. I'll tweet so much we're
I'll get
trending,
so much hate mail just from you.
dude. I will tweet so much that we'll just be trending. Like, imagine how much you'd have to tweet the one person
It's
would be
like
trending.
I think it's like just like a couple thousand tweets or so of one particular hashtag makes it a trend. But to get like a higher end trend, it's like 10 thousands of like people tweeting about something. So if you can tweet 10,000 times, I will literally give you $100. You
I'd
tweet
fucking take that
if you tweet
deal.
hate messages at me 10,000 times, that would be a feat in itself.
Well, I'll get started on that.
Like use
It'll
one of
take
those
me the whole eight
apps
hours.
to like time out all your tweets and have a tweet for every second tomorrow.
God, that would ruin people's lives. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's sad for me to say, but I'm keeping my hopes down.
Yeah, that's what people have kind of
I'm
done
not looking
for
forward to
basically
anything.
everything video game related. They're kind of like they're going in with their hopes not as high as they could be, but they're also still having that point where they're not like pissed off for like no reason, but they still want to be pleased when they leave.
Yeah, because when we saw that from Carlos, and we were in like we were watching a live stream with hundreds of
Thousands.
thousands of people. All those people were liking. Like it was freaking insane. I don't know if we have the video anymore, but
I trashed it.
me and Justin actually recorded a video when the last time they said that they're going to be big news, and I have never been so disappointed and mad, and people in the chat, oh my god,
It was
it was
a war.
ruthless. People were so mad. Carlos has probably one of the most disliked videos out of any PokeTuber channel video ever. It was like all out war, and people blamed him. Death
Yeah.
threats to a guy. And that's what really made me mad. This guy got fucking death threats
People overreact
because
way too fast.
somebody at Game Freak didn't come out and say a month prior that no. This guy got fucking death threats because someone at Nintendo or Game Freak couldn't say, guys, I don't know where this came from, but no. Imagine being threatened to be killed, Justin,
I mean, a lot of YouTubers get that on a
because,
daily basis.
yeah, but this guy, like, because you were trying to help somebody. You were trying to help. Like, you yourself were excited. Hundreds of
You're just
thousands
trying
of
to help a
people
community as a whole.
hundreds of thousands of people are in your video, one of probably your most viewed live stream ever by far, definitely, just to be completely fucking obliterated for something that's not your fault because somebody higher up couldn't make a fucking tweet that says, no.
Yeah.
That was the most frustrating part because it was just like this guy just trying to help. And tomorrow, will he be live streaming? I don't know. I feel like after that live stream, I would have left YouTube because it ruined the guy.
I mean,
He
now,
had to make an apology video that he didn't have to apologize for.
yeah, 2 months later, though, everything, nobody's mad at him anymore. A month and a half later, however long it's been, nobody, I can guarantee that if there's anybody still mad at him, they're just a fucking imbecile. Everybody's
It just
seen it
it
was
was
not his
so
fault.
it was just so frustrating. I've never went and said sorry to a YouTuber before and like talked to them because of this kind of situation. It's always just like, hey, like your videos, you're awesome. Hey, have a nice day. Like, but I've never like gone to a person and said, dude, I was in the live stream yesterday. Oh my god, I am sorry for what happened. Like, it wasn't my fault. I didn't need to apologize, but I felt like I was there. I saw it happen, and it was just fucking brutal.
Hmm.
Like, the dislikes started coming in, the views started going down, comments started flooding in. It was just crazy. So, hopefully, tomorrow we get something good.
I
Like I
mean,
said, I'm not.
one thing is, if a shit show happens tomorrow, then it won't be so many like dislikes and so many hatreds on a YouTuber's channel, but just the company's channel. Which I mean, having that much hate and dislike on a company's channel is still not a good thing, but
No, because
doesn't
it's a
make
bad rep.
but having that many dislikes and hatred comments makes a person really feel like shit. So one person versus the company, I'd rather have a company get hate messages and hate comments toward that rather than just one person.
I agree, but they don't need to hate comments.
Yeah.
There's no need for them to actually get hate comments if they actually deliver on what their promises are. Because this time they're basically promising.
No,
If all their
it's not
if all
basically.
their
They are promising.
if their Twitters are blowing up and people are talking about they like people are not talking about this. Have you noticed that? People are not talking about this, and it's probably because the last time the last live stream.
Hmm.
This one, people are they're actually promising it, and no one's talking about it because
Yeah,
they're just
I've seen
like
tweets about it, but of course, I don't
like
know.
what's happening? Like what's happening? Like it
I think the community as a whole has just lost some faith, but I think after tomorrow, I think faith will be restored.
I don't know. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know.
Because
It's fucked up.
I have never lost faith in Pokemon. Because Pokemon, look around my room, what do I see? Pokemon. Pokemon on every wall. It's the one thing I'll keep coming back to. I can't lose faith in a company that I put so much time and money and love into. I just can't. I need to. I'm the kind of person where I put so much love in this company, I can't just say goodbye to it. Unless they do something absolutely atrocious, which
Like,
they like what?
we have Iwata's head frozen in our basement. It's like, what the
This
fuck?
ain't no Disney
Jeez.
situation. They don't got Walt
Walt
Disney.
Disney's head.
Yeah.
They don't have Walt Disney. It's like, oh, we've been like, it's been paying for our most recent 10 games? Sex trafficking. We think we made millions just from the newest Super Mario game? Fuck that. Nobody bought that game. We've been sex trafficking forever. Like, it's like, what the
Yeah. I
fuck?
think that would probably be enough for me to say there's some corruption in place.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like for somebody, like, this is just my opinion. If you love a company so much,
You should be able to hate them too.
you should be able to hate the fuck out of them. Like, if you can't point out flaws in something you love so much, then you're not a fan. You're not a fan. If you can't say, oh, you fucked up. Oh, that's terrible. What the hell is this? Really? Like, if you can't say those things, then you're not a fan. Because all you're doing is kissing their ass all day. You have to be able to say, uh, fuck that. What is this? No, I'm disappointed. I'm pissed.
I
This is
mean,
dumb. You have to be able to say that, or you're not a fan. You're not a fan.
the
All
games
you're doing
have
is
never made
kissing
me feel
their
that
ass.
way, but definitely how they handle like merchandise and everything, it kind of pisses me off. Like this is completely derailed from Sun and Moon,
Eh,
but
no one's watching.
yeah, this is more for us. But a lot of merchandise is exclusive to Japan, and it makes me extremely sad because there's a lot of cool things, a lot of cool things America will never get. Like they just released the whole line of like Ditto plush. Ditto's like other Pokemon. There's one of Gengar. There's one of the first gen evolutions. And they're
Clefable.
all so
Or
cool, and I
Clefairy.
love them. They're so adorable. But they cost like $25 a piece
Mm,
to get shipped here to the U.S. Like
that's not expensive.
there's this one place that has like it for 25, like the Gengar one for like $25 plus free shipping. But in the U.S. that would cost like $17. So it's like you can get things for so much cheaper if they just localize them, which they wouldn't be localizing. Just slap a new tag on it, call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't collect the stuff. I would love to. I'd love to collect everything, but
Things are
not
expensive as fuck.
possible. Not possible. It's not possible to collect everything.
Hmm.
You can be like, that's why I love watching haul videos. I love watching haul videos because it's like, I feel like I own this too, but I
Do I
don't.
own this or just see the video? I don't remember.
I don't remember. Um, but like that, if anybody watching this right now, if you had to, if if you're gonna leave with anything today, I want to say leave with what I just said and what we were just talking about. You, if you love a company so much, you have to be able to point out their flaws.
Hmm.
You have to. I love Marvel. I love DC. I love Pokemon. I love Mojang. I love a lot of things. But I have talked trash about all those things on a fucking daily basis. Because they do some stuff that is just like fucking mind blowing how outrageous and how idiotic it is. If you love something, you have to be able to say, what the fuck just happened? What is happening? You have to be able to say that.
Hmm.
Or in my opinion, you're not a fan. You're just a person going to see an Avengers movie with a group of friends because Chris Evans is hot. Like that's who you are.
Thor is honky.
Or, hey, have you heard Spider-Man's back in the MCU? What? He hasn't been in there forever. There's been so many movies. Like, you're just that kind of person. You're not a fan. But
You know what? This has been fucking 55 minutes, and it's gonna be a bitch to upload. So
I'm think
I think it's a good time to call it quits. So say your farewells, Dawson.
all right, guys. Tell us in the comments down below if you made it this far what you guys are expecting for tomorrow's live stream. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me on your
Mm-hmm.
channel, and goodbye.
Yeah, so again, if you're watching this, check back tomorrow, because probably
Mm-hmm.
around 3 to 4 p.m. we will have a post video because I can't stay home from school to watch it this time because being a senior is important, apparently. Um, but yeah, thank all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed as always, and I'll see y'all next time.